My name's LoFaso. We're here at the TLO studio today. I'm here with Amrish and my cousin Victoria. We're going to be talking about a variety of things, but most importantly, I think what's exciting about this and why we're even together in this room is the fact that I just bought a house, and in buying a house, Amrish was one of the people to help me out. It's been a great process. It was pretty smooth, honestly. Working with him was the easiest part of the whole thing. It was the real estate agent that honestly drove me a little bit crazy, but working with him, he made it phenomenal. But we were coming together today. We're going to talk a little bit about that, the real estate world. I'd love to hear where you guys are at, just on like market and so on and so forth. Yeah. And at this point in this studio and around Long Island, whatever, I've made videos for hundreds of people in the real estate world. So happy to talk about that, give any advice, and maybe this can be useful to anybody in the industry. So, Amrish, ladies first. Introduce yourself. Just name, really, and where you're working right now.
I am Victoria Merrell, soon to be Straub.
Love it.
I'm working for Coldwell Banker. My office is on Park Boulevard in Massapequa Park. So have a great team behind me. They've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, but you're new in the world.
Oh, I'm very new.
Yeah. That's okay.
But it's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah, hey. Gotta try.
And I'm Amrish Diaz. I'm with Cardinal Financial. I run my own team, which is Team Diaz. I'm a mortgage lender, which we talked about for almost 30 years. So yes, I did start when I was 5 years old, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, crazy.
And, as you know, my specialty is to help customers, first-time home buyers, investors. I have a lot of repeat clients with the mortgage process, which, a lot of times it's out there where the mortgage process is hard and it's scary and, it's tough to go through. And you're a good testament to my work. I make it quite the opposite. I make sure that the mortgage process is easy and stressless and seamless. And, it's all about being transparent and understanding and knowing what you're getting into and making sure that if you have a path and a system and a team and help and guidance and constant communication, it's a smooth process.
Right.
Would you agree?
100%. Everybody I spoke to was like, it was literally, first person was the real estate agent, then several people, like family members, like my mom, aunts, whatever, they were like, oh, the mortgage company is going to drive you crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, they're literally going to drive you crazy. And I've said this to several people. I go, my accountant drove me more crazy this year for taxes than 100%. My mortgage guy did. So, no, it wasn't a bad process by any means. They didn't ask for, duplicated documents and just there was none of that. It was very straightforward. And very, very, the communication was super helpful. For somebody who feels like, for someone who's on the outside of the industry, I'm like, oh, I know a ton about real estate, like from the average person. Like even using the word seller concession, most people are like, what is a seller concession? I'm like, I know what that is because of people like Amrish, right? And because of filming and being in the industry. And I think that gave me a big leg up in this process. But at the same time, I also came into this being like, this is the first time I'm ever doing this, and I'm so scared. And the emotions literally completely pushed all of that out of the way. Like, I forgot it all.
Even when I buy houses, like, I get nervous. Like, I was on the phone with an investor who buys houses and flips or buys and rents, which is what I do as well. And even when I buy a house, I get nervous, right? And I'm in it almost now 20 years buying real estate. And even to this day, I get nervous. So, like, it's a natural thing to feel that way because...
Makes sense.
Because you're like, you never know, right? Like, hey, I'm going to spend all this money. What if something bad happens? Or, what if, S hits the fan? So it's a very common feeling to have.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. But we got through it, and you were a big help in all that. And I think that's something that I think I expected almost like the real estate agent to do more in a sense. And I think that's something that like, this can be helpful for you in a sense, right? And like listening to somebody like myself being like, oh, wow. The real estate agent didn't have a lot of the answers that I was necessarily looking for, and I went to Amrish for the answers, and he had them, and I was like, "That's great, thank you very much," and like whatever the circumstances are. But there was definitely a few things like that, so I think it's important to really try and hold hands as much as you possibly can, and that goes for any business, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I do see myself. I don't like to overstep other people's jobs, right? Like attorneys, realtors. Title companies, but like because I've done it so much and I have such good experience, I'm able to understand and communicate to the customer what's going on. Like, a lot of times, a lot of loan officers don't do this, but I go through the contracts with the customers. That's really the lawyer's job.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But I go through the customers and I'm like, hey, look, this is kind of what your timetables look like. These are the important pieces in the contract. Just make sure that you understand that. I'm sure your lawyer went over that with you, but I just want to go over that with you just to make sure you are fully transparent and you understand everything that's going on and what you're getting yourself into.
You also don't want to sell a house to somebody that can't afford it and all that stuff, right? Where you're just learning, later on it's a foreclosure or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting right now, the way that the market is, especially the content creation aspect of it. Like, I've been seeing the videos you're putting out. They're looking great, some of them. Like, I actually brought one up as an example today. I was like, this is a great video.
Which one?
It was the one that you collaborated on with that woman.
About Huntington?
Mm-hmm. Specifically that video about Huntington. It was like part 2 or something like that. And I liked the title that you guys used. It was like an intro title. And I was like, I like this. I want this.
I've got a lot of comments because people are like, I can't believe you've never been to the Paramount. I've never been to the Paramount in Huntington.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it and I've looked inside it, but I've never actually been in it and spent time there.
Yeah, I mean, I went in it for like a they have that room off to the side with like a bar and
I saw that.
a little stage. I went there 2024. I was Young Professional of the Year in Huntington or something for their chamber, which was...
Oh, I remember that actually.
Yeah, I got like a plaque and a bunch of things from the government and so on. Yeah, and that was cool. And I remember they had the event there. But great video overall. I liked the style of it. It was good. But it works, I think content is king. The real estate agent that I ended up working with in Florida, the only reason why I worked with her is because she's on YouTube, and I found her on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh wow!
I found her on YouTube, and look, overall, I mean, she was great. Don't get me wrong. She was very, very nice. She was great to work with. There was just little things that pissed me off at the end, and honestly, I think that's just because I'm a salesman, and I don't like when I don't get the same level of sales that I provide to people, right? So it frustrates me when I'm like, hey, I would do this. Why aren't you doing that? But beyond that, it was all good. But yeah, I went on YouTube. I typed in the area that we were looking to move to, and there was her and like 2 other guys that made long form YouTube videos. They're like 10 minutes long.
Wow.
And I've told so many people in the real estate world to do this. I can't tell you a single one of them that have taken up me on the advice of it.
Though?
10 minutes. And each video is about the area that they're trying to promote. So most of these were about 55 and older communities. So they'd pick a specific 55 and older community. They would start at the entrance of the community. Here we are at, such and such community here. Come on, let's go for a tour. And then they go to each amenity that they have, and let's go check out their room and see what the room looks like. Oh, look at this, the master bedroom. It's beautiful. Sorry, primary, as they say.
To be honest, I kind of like that actually.
Well, it because it works, right? So, and that's why your video for Huntington does really well, because it doesn't have to do anything with real estate in a sense. It's just getting people interested in what you have, right? And I'm interested in the area. Well, I didn't know that there's a 55 and older community. Well, let me check it out. I'm not 55, so let me keep scrolling, and then, oh, wow, look, there's these restaurants in the area, and someone's reviewing, the, I don't know, a good place would be in Ronkonkoma. They just open up station yards.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool spot. You could easily spend 20 minutes just walking around there.
So funny story about my video. So my cousins are coming here from Atlanta, Georgia. And there's a wedding that one of our cousins is having here in New York. And so they're staying in the city, and they saw the video, and they're like, wow, I didn't really realize that Long Island had these cool restaurants. When we come out there, we need to go to these places.
Yeah.
Video works, right? So, my audience is broad because friends in California, friends in Texas, friends in Illinois, friends in Georgia, they're seeing this, right? So, my audience is broad. So, when they're seeing videos that I just posted, they're like, whoa, this is cool. So, it's just a good idea for your future if you're thinking about doing, content. It doesn't have to be about real estate.
No, it could be about anything. I have a lawyer that we work with, and he lives in Port Jeff Station, and he's like, I want to switch it up a little bit. I was like, okay, cool. I go, literally walk outside this building. There's history. I was like, let's just talk about the history that's going on here. It's super cool. You're the North Shore injury lawyer, so let's brand you with North Shore stuff. Let's talk about, the pirates that were here 200 years ago or something like that. Whatever it is, it's... Not everybody wants to be a content creator, and I totally understand that, but there are ways to get around it. And you don't have to be on camera in a sense either. There's a lot of people that do voiceover content that find success in it, and the one thing that I say though is to try and bridge it back to what you're doing. I think that's always important, even if you're just ending it with that. it doesn't necessarily help to do like, you know, oh, I'm going to review these 3 restaurants and then I'm just going to stop the video. And it's just like, you need to at least say like, I sell mortgage, like I give loans to people, you know, like, and keep plugging yourself. That's the whole point of it. I saw also a real estate agent, this is maybe 3 or 4 months ago. It was so funny. The guy like went on a vacation to Arizona and he was like literally on the top of like, you know, some red rocks or something like that. And someone's filming him and he's just like, real estate. All right, cool. It's a business trip. Like, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, that's great. And the video had like a ton of views, you know, like something crazy. A real estate guy I spoke to yesterday, handsome home buyer.
Oh, yeah.
He was telling me, one of the guys that works there, the video had like 6,000 views, but it was funny. The guy told him like, you need to make content. This guy's probably like 50 or 60. He's like, I don't want to make videos. And he literally just took a video of himself drinking coffee and then wrote the caption was like, my boss told me I needed to make social media videos. And it got like 6,000 views. You know?
Really?
Yeah, he's literally just sipping a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, like something like that would work for me. I'm such an elder millennial, but I'm almost like I could be a boomer at this point because I know nothing about content. I don't even know how to edit a video on TikTok.
That's okay.
I don't know how to make a video on Instagram. Like,
Okay.
can I just?
I don't even
post
have TikTok to
a
make you feel better.
photo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do whatever works, you know? And then people hire. That's also the other thing. I mean, look, the thing from the real estate perspective, and this is advice to any real estate agent, really, is buddy with mortgage loan officers, insurance agents, and be like, listen, I have people that want to buy houses, but I need help marketing, and I have no money to do so. Can you help me out? And they're more than willing to do so because to them, that's their marketing expense. You know, I'd rather pay this guy a couple $100 to come film all of us together. So then we're in, you know, you can get the content that you need. Now you can potentially sell a house to somebody and then, oh, that person needs a mortgage. I got a guy for you,
Right.
you know, and that you've proven that to me right away. And now I've seen that so many times with anything inside that real estate bubble, you know, if it's a home inspector, if you're an insurance agent. But the mortgage guys definitely like to spend more money. There's no doubt about it. They're not afraid to be like, yeah, come on in, let's film together, and you can be my referral source. You know,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it's the
Look,
name
it's
of
an
the game.
investment, right? Like you objectively want to make an ROI, and so
Yeah.
like if I can help market and if I can help partner up with agents that are looking to be successful, it's worth the time and the effort, right?
Why not?
If you're a onesie twosie, it's, you know, you're a little bit more hesitant. But if you're in it to win it, it's worth it.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it.
It's also a relationship. You know, like I have agents that I have an amazing relationship, and we work together, and we do a lot of investments on different, you know, things. I have agents where, you know, they're onesie twosies, and we're like, look, you know, I'm happy to help you. You know, just we've got to be careful of what we're looking to spend.
Yeah, yeah. I would say it's definitely the consistency of it, and that's what I've seen be successful for the mortgage loan officers in getting more business from the realtors is creating some level of consistency and being like, hey, let's do this every week or once a month or whatever. So then that builds the relationship. It's the same thing as like, you know, how we even got connected was through networking, right? Like, oh, let's show up to this lunch once a week on a Wednesday, right? And then
Steve Chang's.
Right, I think that's what it was. I'm pretty sure it was Steve Chang's group. And, you know, I did that for like, whatever, 6 months or something. But then in that time period, you were like, oh, here, come to this group and come and hang out with me over here. And then I was like, I don't need to go to this lunch anymore. I'm going to go hang out in this area, you know? And that expanded that over there. And, you know, it's been those little things, but it you know, it allows that. And the real estate that's what it's all about. It's all about relationships. I also heard to that point, actually, we've been working a lot with Nationwide, the mortgage company, and one of the guys there said that, and this was, I remember, mind-blowing when I heard it. And again, this is just from filming and being in the industry. He was like, if you work with the right individuals, it gives you a better opportunity of buying certain houses. For example, like if a house is for sale in some area and you're a nobody real estate agent, they might not want to sell you that house as opposed to somebody who's like a little bit more, you know, experienced. Yeah. And you're like, hey, I got this deal for you. They're like, I need to sell it to that guy because he sells 100 houses a year, or he, you know, finances, you know, several, whatever.
Listing agents actually, even though consumers could be like 100% financing on a VA or 3.5% on FHA, a lot of listing agents, when they see me on the pre-approval, they feel a lot better because they know me, they know my reputation, they know the company,
Right.
you know, and they feel like, okay, I have more confidence in accepting an offer because it's Amrish who's doing the loan because he gets things done, right? So
It's
gonna
valid.
go
reputation, that's exactly, it's going
Yeah.
to go through.
Yeah, that's like super, super important, you know. Buying a house in another state, I don't have that leverage working with you, right? They're like, who the hell is this guy? But I knew that. I knew that going into it. I also like, and this could just be my brain overthinking, but I think of things like, oh, they told me that house isn't available. And then I'm like, why isn't it available? It's been on Realtor for the past 6 months, you know, something's off there. They didn't want to sell me the house. I don't know. They didn't, you know, it's not like redlining or anything. Maybe it is, but like it just seems more along the lines of like there's some political aspect there and they just don't want to sell me the house. And that's fine. That's fine, you know. And you're unless you try and dig into that or something, maybe you'll get an answer. But in most cases, it's just like, oh, it's just not available right now. And it's probably for some reason like that because they're like, oh, no, we only want like the right person buying this house
Right.
or whatever, you know, or the right agent working with it. Reputation. It's
Victoria, why'd you get into real estate? Just out of curiosity.
I was dealing with a few realtors, and I just didn't think that they were doing a good job.
What meant, like, elaborate, like what meant like they didn't do a good job? What aspect?
They weren't working. If I have a property for you that I need rented or sold or bought, and you're not bringing anyone to see it in a month's time, I think that's a big problem.
100%.
yeah.
Try somebody else. Same thing. You don't bring anybody here. I know the housing market on Long Island is pretty hot right now. I know rentals are very hard to come by. So you can't tell me that in a month's time you have not one person that you can bring to see a rental.
Yeah.
So that was
frustrating.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
So I figured, you know what? This can't be that hard. Had no idea what it entailed to get the license.
Wow.
Maybe I would have had a little bit more respect for them knowing all of that.
Yeah.
What does go into getting a license? I have no idea.
You have to take a 77-hour course first. You have to take a test.
What's the course? So, like, what is it? Like online, or you have to physically show up?
You can do either. I opted online.
You like walk away from your computer. You actually have to do it.
You have to sit there and listen. And ADHD and online classes don't really go.
Did you like break it up at least? Like you're like 5 hours, 5 hours, 5 hours?
I did like 6 hours at a clip every day.
All right,
so
so
I
it took
think
you
I
like
got
2-ish weeks or something.
I got through that class. Yeah, probably in like a month's time. And then I was doing the practice test, and I said, did I hear any of this? Okay, then I was getting really
Let me redo it
scared.
again. Do it the 77 hours.
I said, oh man, like
That's crazy.
realtors like have to go through this? Okay.
It's actually harder for mortgage people.
I learned
Yeah.
that you guys needed a
so-
license too.
Right.
Yes.
But then don't go to a room of realtors and start asking them specific questions because they just won't know the answers.
But that's what I don't understand either. I mean, some of them aren't like the sharpest tool in the shed, and I'm like,
yeah.
a lot went into this. Like, this was a big investment.
Uh,
There's money, there's time. You had to take this test, and you don't even find out right away.
You got to be in it to win it.
Oh, man.
You're making
all
me
go
think
through
of this video that we filmed. It's so bad. I literally almost had to like leave. I like had to hold back laughing. This young guy, he's probably like 25, 30, something like that. And he is a real estate agent. And he's like, yeah, I use Gemini on my phone and like the camera feature where like it can like tell you what it's looking at, whatever. Cause like I go into these rooms and I don't know like what it is, and then it'll tell me it's a boiler, and I'm like, dude, you're a freaking real estate agent, you don't know what a boiler is? Like, I'm like, come on, man, like that's like number one thing you should know in the house.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just like
Jesus.
Yeah.
but you hear that. So I think to your point though, you got to find the right ones.
Yeah,
But you got your license. You
Yeah.
passed the test.
I did.
And now it's time to get some business.
Trying to get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the methods you're trying to help get business? What are some ideas that you're coming up with?
Well, that's where the problem is lying. I mean, short of playing, hey, let's go hide my business card somewhere for someone to find, I like really don't even know where to start. I'm trying to, my I think my biggest, realm right now is Instagram. I'm thinking that's reaching more people than Facebook. So, I mean, I'm trying to post stories. Hey, oh, she's not, doing that job anymore. Oh, she's a realtor now. Okay, like I'm trying to just pound that into people. Like, hey, you need a realtor. All right, Vicky posts this thing. Let's,
Yeah.
maybe give her a call.
It's front of mind. That's what it is. I mean, it
Yeah.
works. Don't get me wrong. I've gotten a ton of business just from being front of mind. I tell people to send out emails every week. No one's going to read the email. It doesn't matter what's in the
Right.
email. It doesn't matter. All they need to see is your name and that subject line that says,
Yeah.
I do thing. That's literally it. Other than that, it's just repetition. Social media is very similar in a sense. However, you want to be a little bit more like I was talking about this yesterday. Being new in any business, it's just there comes down to like, do I have the time? Do I have the money for this? And usually the answer is like, I have the time, but I don't have the money in some sense. So it's tricky to get to the level of social media where it like is crushing for you in a sense. Like what you produce, like that video is great, but obviously there's a videographer there, there's an editing team, right? There's a bunch of stuff involved to get to that level. So you just start with what you have, right? Like you just work with the phone that you have, but you also want to make sure that you're not posting super generic content. And like this is what I'm seeing all the time. I see it with insurance agents. Like I literally said this twice yesterday at 2 different networking groups. I was like, nobody cares that it's like National Pizza Day or National Cheeseburger Day or whatever. Like, the insurance agents love that sort of thing. They love it. Like, or if you work for a corporation, like you work technically for a larger organization, they will give you marketing material. Like it's the worst. Like don't use it. Like let the corporate company use that. And if you need some filler content, okay, fine, post it. But like realistically, take your phone out, video yourself, and take that post that they tried telling you, the 5 steps to buying a house. Cool. Just read it on camera, and there you go. There's your video. And stand outside while you're doing it, not in a dark room, and hold the phone up and not down, right? There's little tricks to it, but you have the time for it. It's just you don't have the money, and it's like, all right, so I'm gonna work with what I have right now. And it's weird. I understand that. Like, it's like, do I really want to stare at myself on camera and
Right.
film? But it works.
I always say with realtors, like, look, everybody needs real estate. Everyone needs a place to live. Whether you're renting, you're buying, you need a place to live. It's just that you need to basically tell people, like, hey, I'm the person to help you find a place to live, right? And that's the aspect that you're missing, is that you need to make sure you get yourself out there so people know you're the real estate agent to talk to. And that's the missing aspect. That's what you're missing, right? So how do you get yourself out there? How do people know you're a realtor? How do people know to use your skills? And that's what you got to figure out, is how do I get myself out there so people know to use my business, use my services to help them?
Yeah, but it takes time. That's the only thing.
And it definitely takes time.
It's
It's networking. So like I do a lot of fundraisers, Chamber of Commerce, postcard media, social media, networking.
You do
groups.
postcards?
I do it, but I don't like doing it. But I do it. Yes.
I mean, it's got to work.
I've done it for 20 plus years, and it's the ROI is never great.
Yeah.
I
mean, I would think you have to send like 5,000 postcards to get like 1 or 2 solid leads.
I would probably say the best mode of getting business is social media.
Yeah. Especially for your industry.
I get a lot of leads from social media.
Yeah. If you were a roofer, maybe the postcards would work a little better. If you're Anderson Windows.
Like I see my plumber doing social media all the time, and he says he gets a lot of business.
Yeah.
And he does really good social media.
Yeah, we have a plumber as a client, and they crush it. He spends $17,000 a month on advertising. And when I met him on Facebook, and that's like kind of normal in some of these spaces. And I was like, dude, please give me like 1,500 of that 17, and we will make this go way better than what you're experiencing right now. I mean, that's all I need. It's just a couple bucks out of what you're spending right now. We will take those videos to the next. You didn't even have videos. We'll just take it to the next level.
And then I do a lot of training too. So like, for example, I just did a training on AI and how AI helps real estate, because AI has so many amazing tools that you can use to help your business.
Your wife was involved in that with you, right?
My wife's involved in that. So she is she's AI certified through MIT, and she's also
very cool.
Now the CEO of a AI and medical startup. Right?
Very cool.
She's doing some really impressive stuff.
Wow.
But she uses a lot of AI, and so she actually teaches me AI, right? Like it's a lot of stuff that I don't even know. That I'm learning from her, and so I've had her, partner up with me to help realtors understand what are the resources you can use through AI? Because the reality is that like most people, 90% of them don't have any idea how much AI can help you with.
Oh my God.
And there's so many tools, there's so many things that you can use to help grow your business.
Just even on the sales side of things, because I work with a sales coach every week. I talk to this guy. His name's Sonny. He's down in Florida for 2+ years now. And one of the first early on things that we talked about that you do in sales is a pre-call plan, right? Before the call, before you step into the opportunity that you're going to have, spend 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes thinking about what you're going to talk about. Write down a plan. And I can't tell you how helpful it's been to literally just be like, this is the client I'm working with. Here's their website. Help me develop a pre-call plan. You know, the AI already knows my company in a sense. I'm like, this is who I am, whatever. It's insane. And it'll give you talking points that you never even thought about. And that you're just like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. And it'll help you close the deal because you're like, I didn't even see that angle at all. And it's like, shit, now I'm going with that.
So do you use AI? Do you use anything, ChatGPT, anything?
I have.
Yeah,
Mostly,
with the photos and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
to
so that's
like
okay.
edit photos. I don't really
That's fine.
know.
So what do you use?
That's pretty good. You're using Gemini, I think I told you to use,
yeah,
right?
I do prefer Gemini.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Download ChatGPT, download Claude. Claude's amazing.
Yeah, people are loving Claude right
And
now.
literally
Never heard of that.
ask AI, I am a realtor. I'm trying to start off. I don't know where to begin. What should I do? Seriously, just ask it.
Mm-hmm.
Have a
It'll give you-
conversation with it.
it'll
and
give
just
you
talk-
some
can talk to it.
options.
And it'll help
Okay.
you give some ideas also what to do. And again, I'm gonna have a conversation with you, so you and I will work on partnering up and coming up with some ideas as well. But ask AI. You'll be surprised at how amazing the response is.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've tried all kinds of things from ideas it's given me and websites. I mean, we just built another website specifically based on specific keywords because I was like, this is what I'm looking to do, whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's a good idea.
AI is your awesome intern, as we call it. It's your awesome intern that's gonna help you basically guide you through it. You're the boss.
That is good. I like
But-
that. That's a good way for the acronym.
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. We were just talking about it from the video editing aspect of things. So I think this is, we were just filming before you came, and I can repeat it in a sense. But like, basically taking your edit or your video and then mixing it with an AI video. So there's all these AI video editors, and I could easily show you one of them, and we can have further conversations. And it does a pretty good job. It does, depending on the video, depending on the prompt you give it, 60% completion in my 80% completion in my opinion. Some could be 100, but you might have to play around with it. But now we're at the point where it's like, well, we could take that 60% good video, cut out the 40% that's not good, and then manually finish the rest of it. And look at that, we're crushing it
There used
right
to
now.
be a program called Sora that used to be able to do that. Like they made these amazing videos, but Sora shut down.
Yeah.
But now all the other AI companies are doing similar Sora.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
Same thing,
VO3 has it right now. This, it's crazy. We just did it before. I mean, power washing guy, Dukes, who's behind the camera, actually filmed him, and we made the guy. He's power washing. He just starts flying in the air. You know what I mean?
Awesome. I love that.
It's
I love it.
ridiculous. You know,
Yeah.
I turned him into a video game character in the other video.
Oh my God,
I was
I love it.
like,
But that's gonna get views.
gonna get views.
Yeah, right.
100%.
I'm
And like,
gonna watch that.
And that's how
Right.
you get
Yeah.
engagement. People
Right.
will reach out to you and say, that was awesome. I would love
Right.
to use you,
right. And that's what prompted me for that video that you posted, because I was like, is that title AI? I'm like, I can't tell, man. It kind of looks like it. We were like looking, we were like, nah, it's definitely DaVinci or one of the other editing programs. But I was like, it looks like it was done with AI.
A lot of my, I just posted about a Memorial Day weekend. And so I had AI put together a quick little post with my photo and whatever. And I had to design it, and it did a beautiful job. And people were like, whoa, that was a really cool post. I'm like, AI did it.
Yeah. Although I just saw the other day on the creator side of things, from my side of the street, basically, that people are like, I literally saw a post the other day that was like, if you make your flyer for your event with AI, I'm not going. And I was like, wow. I was like, damn, that's next level of like hate, I guess, you know? Yeah, and there are like graphic designers that are just like absolutely pissed about this. And I'm just like, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I
You
get
know? And I'm like, but the last event that I threw, I used an AI flyer. So I'm
Well,
like,
that's taking their job
totally,
away.
you know,
Yeah.
I get it, but
Victoria, tell me 3 things that are unique about you or different about you.
Oh.
Like, twist it up a little bit.
Goodness gracious. Things that are unique about me. Oh, goodness.
we just got married. That's unique.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. All right, congratulations.
Okay. Thank you.
You're a former police
Um,
officer. That's unique.
Yeah.
That's cool.
and apparently I have an interesting accent. So.
Yeah. I asked her if she has a southern accent because she has like a
Really got
like
a twang?
southern accent, but she's like, I'm from Long Island. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I thought you're from the South.
I don't know.
You know, people don't think that I'm from New York whenever I leave New
Really?
York. Yeah, they're like, you have the
don't
weirdest.
have a strong.
Yeah, they're
Long
like, where are
Island
you
accent.
from? Even
Yeah.
when I was in Buffalo for a year, they're like, where are you from? And I'm like, New
I get
York.
that a lot.
And I'm just
Like, are
like,
you from India? I'm like, well.
it's just more fucked up than anything else. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't have a home.
goodness.
Okay. What's your like target area that you like to like market for real estate?
Well, being that I worked in the city for so long, I'm trying to stay away from the 5 boroughs.
Okay.
So definitely the whole Long Island area.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I could go to Elmont, Limbrook. That's fine. You know, there's gonna have to be some kind of cutoff.
You're not gonna go all the way to Hamptons.
Yeah, no. We're not doing Hamptons.
Okay.
We're not doing Montauk.
Okay.
But
Unless it's worth it.
yeah, I mean, you know, there's
Someone's
an $8
like,
million
hey.
listing. Yeah,
Right.
sure, I'll make some.
Juice has got to be
things-
worth the squeeze.
Yeah, I'll make some things
Okay.
work
Right.
out there.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm trying to stick to my Long Island.
Your
Yeah.
I just
Your
saw
hood.
a house for sale in the Hamptons that outdates the Declaration of Independence, and it's selling
way.
for $8 million, and it is
Man.
probably like, 1,000 square feet or something. It's like this little tiny house.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this?
It's, I'm pretty sure it said the Hamptons if I saw it correctly. I just saw it. It was like News
1,000
12 or
square feet?
something.
No way.
I didn't see the square footage, but the house looked tiny.
Okay.
It's the history. That's why
Yeah,
it's selling.
of course.
It's outdates the Declaration of Independence.
So you can have a story. Hey, this is my
Right. I think it's like
50-year-old home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like a property on a property too, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
it's one of those.
The guest
Okay.
quarters.
Yeah.
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 Guest quarters.
Yeah, the
Right.
slave quarters.
Yeah.
But what about you work everywhere though, right? You're
Everywhere. I mean, obviously, Florida, Connecticut, Jersey. My main areas is obviously Long Island because now that I'm here, but I lived in the city for 16 years, so I still have a lot of city connections. So a lot of my city connections, they go to Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island City, Jersey, Connecticut. So we have a couple of deals in Connecticut that we're working with right now where my Long Island people are buying out their multifamilies because they're low taxes, good rental income. So anywhere pretty much that.
I met a guy recently that commutes to Garden City from Connecticut, and I was like, that's
Wow.
interesting.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's a travel. It's a commute.
Hour and a half is what he was telling me. Like, I mean, it's like bad, but it's not that bad. Like, you're
Yeah.
like, I guess that's like kind of doable. And there was another guy, financial advisor or something, same thing, but he was like Port Washington area or something like that. So it was only like 45 minutes or so, depending on traffic, obviously. But I was like, I guess that's the only other cheat code, if you're trying to find a cheaper property.
Interesting.
But yeah. I mean, what do you guys think right now though with like the market and everything and like where it's at? I know like I heard a real estate person saying something about like the Fed chair and that got changed and all this stuff, but like I don't know. I feel like it's always like if you're thinking about buying, it's like why wait,
I mean, I think that Brooklyn and Queens, I feel it's more of a buyer's market. There's a lot of properties that are staying there longer. Nassau, Suffolk, depending on where you go, it's like more of a seller's market. There's a lot more competition, especially Suffolk. Price per square foot's a little bit easier. Taxes are a little bit easier out there.
Right.
So people are willing to commute a little bit longer to pay a little bit less to get more bang for your buck. Same with upstate. People are willing to go from, let's say, the Bronx and Brooklyn and Queens to go further upstate to get more land, for value.
Which makes sense.
Even my Brooklyn people are going to Jersey. They're like, hey, I want to get more space. Long Island's a little expensive. Let me try Jersey. So, obviously it depends on the person. But what I'm seeing, Long Island's very popular, but it's more of a seller's market.
Right.
And then the boroughs I'm feeling is a little bit more of a buyer's market.
So being in your both your industries where my assumption would be you'd focus on the selling market rather than the buying market, you would think, if you're focusing in Long Island, like if you're looking to grow, like if you're looking to market yourself, right, you would focus on trying to find sellers. And then who is that target? Like what are you talking to those people? Like what would you say?
I mean, I would say for Victoria, she's probably going to want to target sellers, because she can control the
Right.
property and make sure
And
that
and
she
who
has
is that? Like, what's that target market look like from your experience of seeing these sellers and
for
so
sale
on?
by owners, right? I mean, people who think that they can sell by themselves without needing a real estate agent. There's a lot of people who think
Right.
that.
Oh, that's the big thing right
Right?
now in all these mom groups on Facebook.
Is it really?
Oh, everyone is saying you don't need realtors. They're overpaid. They don't do nothing. Everything is sell yourself.
Wow.
That is like the biggest
Wow.
thing right now.
And why do you think, for the people out there, why do you think that using a realtor is better than doing it yourself?
Oh, because you're getting your house marketed. That's the point of dealing with a realtor. If you're listing it yourself, how much are you really, unless you're maybe really internet savvy,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You're going to have to pay to post it on MLS yourself. If I do it, okay, well now, the entire state of New York is going to see your listing. I can bring in a lot more people and get you into a bidding war instead of just saying, well, there's only one person interested in my house now, so maybe I'll try this again in 6 months.
I think you'll also be able to have a better negotiating because you'll understand exactly what to look out for because you have the experience understanding what's going to happen if there's a leak or the boiler's too old or anything like of that nature. You would have a better experience than maybe a homeowner would. Right?
It's good to have someone on your side. You can think the real estate market and this and that, but there are a lot of things that go into buying and selling a house that you would have no idea about. So you might as well just spend a little bit extra money and have, at least your mind set at ease a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of agents who basically get for sale by owners prove the sellers wrong because they're like, hey, look, I showed you what I can do, and now I'm selling your house $100,000 over asking.
Mm-hmm.
Because I market it really well.
Yeah.
Can you target people that are selling? I would assume, right? Could you go after the people that are selling on their own if you find them on
sure.
Facebook and
The
call them up?
FISBOs, the expired listings.
And I guess you could show up with a buyer if you were that aggressive, right? If you're like, hey, I have a buyer for you already. They'd like to come check out your house.
Yeah. I get marketing flyers all the time. I have a buyer for your house. Call me.
Right.
I'm like, cool, I'm not selling, but I'll
Right.
call you. Sure.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. See what
Call you as a mortgage lender, not a seller.
Yeah, right.
Still in
Chase down the
essence,
lead.
trying to change that person's mind
Yes.
to saying, hey, you need me.
Which is the hardest thing to do in sales is to change a belief. That's the absolute hardest thing to do.
100%.
It's super, super tricky. When someone believes
Yeah.
something, it's like good freaking luck.
And it's trust. I think a lot of people have a hard time trusting others, right? Like, how do I gain your trust? How do I feel confident that I can work
Right.
with you, right? Like, and I always tell people, look, give me 1% of your trust. Let me earn the other 99%. Let me show you what I can do. But you got to give me an opportunity and hear me out and let me prove to you what I can do for you.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think about that can combat that, like that belief that somebody has, is by showing full transparency that you're not what they assume that you are. And the only way that I know how to do that in 2026 is to blast yourself on the internet where somebody can look you up and be like, oh, this guy isn't a dick. He's actually really nice and walks around Huntington and talks about how nice it is. Maybe I should give him a call, right? But like that's as opposed to just like, oh, this guy just cold called me and is trying to sell my house that I have on Facebook right now and is telling me he's going to make me $100,000 more. Yeah, okay, buddy, click,
Right.
As opposed to like maybe trying to go about it a different way. Like, I don't know, but that's the only thing I could think because how else do you
Reputation means a lot, right? Like people's reputation, your experience, what your information that's out there, your Google reviews, your Zillow reviews, your
first impressions.
Those are. I mean, people look at everybody up all the time, right? What kind of business are you doing? Like, what kind of reviews do you have? It's just like when you're on Yelp looking for the nearest restaurant. Same concept.
Yeah, no, totally, and that's why I just social media has that power, but. That is really interesting that people are posting on the Facebook groups like, sell it myself.
100% bashing the realtors and just, you don't just save the money. You can do it yourself.
I'm on those moms groups too, and I see it.
There's no way that works out well for them, though. There's no way. There's like no.
Well, everyone thinks that they can do a better job.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Oh, in this market, you don't need anyone. You don't need to pay anyone to do it. These houses are selling themselves.
Use ChatGPT.
Okay. Right. post your house in your mom's group, and let's
Yeah.
see how well that works out for you.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've all like, I guess on some level we do it in a sense, and then, guilty of it. Like, oh, let me ask ChatGPT what it thinks about this, and then expect that it's a product expert or a subject matter expert on this thing, and then I'm gonna go to the expert and try and tell them that they're wrong. That is tricky. I basically did that with Amrish early on in the process. I was on ChatGPT asking 1,000,001 questions, and I was like, hey, but what about this? What about this? What about this? And then
it doesn't always have the right answer.
No, and eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna shut the hell up because I don't think I know what I'm talking about at this point. And I've had people do the same thing to me, like. Even recently, we had a coach come to us. She wants to do this whole course, whatever. Okay, fine. And she's like, yeah, ChatGPT told me to do it this way, this way, this way, this way. I straight up told her, I don't believe your plan here. I don't think it's going to work. If you want me to do it, sure, we'll take your money. I'm happy to, And that's what we did for 3 months, and it didn't work. And, hey, we need to close this out. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, maybe if we took my advice and not the computers, we'd be in a different story right now.
Well,
but
and that's the problem. Everyone is turning into a ChatGPT expert. Well, I know how to side my house now because it told me this is how I.
But
no,
that's
you
just your
don't
intern.
know. Right, you
Just your
don't know
intern.
how
It's
to
not
do
the
it.
boss. You don't know how to do it, right?
Right, yeah.
Give you an idea, but it's not going to do it.
Right.
And I feel like a personal touch is going to make a big difference from, like reading what AI is going to tell you and give you it's going to give you a guideline, but it's not going to be as expertise as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. But I don't know.
There's a reason why WebMD, people stop putting your symptoms, because you're diagnosing yourself. You're not a doctor.
Yep.
So
100%.
let the doctor do
Yeah.
their job. Let the mortgage professional.
Although I'm ready for whatever company your wife's working at to give me some sort of AI that I'm just like, I got a cold, Spit me out
her
some
company's gonna be
drugs.
Freaking awesome! I'm really excited for what they're going to do. They're working on some amazing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, it's in the medical industry, it's probably the coolest when it comes to like bringing every doctor's notes together and giving medication based on like specifically who you are. Like I heard of that recently with like you can see you probably know about this. Like there's vitamins that you can get that are like tailored specifically to you. They like do a blood test.
Oh yeah, I've seen
And
that.
like yeah, it sounds pretty interesting. It's got to be like the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's amazing what technology is doing these days.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
But all right, so I'm obviously a new home buyer, but like
Homeowner.
homeowner. Yeah. I guess I would be a home buyer prior to the
You
process.
were a home buyer. Now you're a home
Yeah.
buyer.
No, I'm a homeowner. Okay, cool.
How's it feel, by the way?
I mean, it feels great. It feels great. It doesn't feel real by any means, but
Once your furniture's there and you've painted and you've got like
Yeah.
picture frames up and
Yeah.
I could show you some of the work I've been doing too. No, I mean, it's great. I also am coming from a place of like, I didn't buy a house that needs work, and that was kind
That's
of
awesome.
important to me,
That's awesome.
Looking around, that is around Long Island, there's lots of houses that need work,
So many houses.
Oh yeah.
So many.
and
Every
that's,
house.
yeah, and it's, I think that was a little bit stressful just because I was like, I want to do these little things, but it's not like I needed to do them. I wanted to, as opposed to, somebody who might need to do something, but
And you might do a few things here. You might do some painting.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
I
you may,
already did. I painted
There you go.
two rooms, and we changed the floor in
There you
the
go.
primary bedroom. It
There
had
you go.
carpet, and we put in laminate floor.
Believe it.
And it looks really good.
Nice. It's exciting.
It is. It's
Exciting.
it's very exciting. It's just all these like little things and getting through it all, and a mortgage,
But you're an adult now. You're adulting, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, this is it. Like, I'm so tired of renting. That's really what it was. I've been renting since,
years.
yeah, it's about 9 years I've been renting for,
Paying someone else's mortgage.
paying somebody else's mortgage,
That's it.
and it's been great. Don't get me wrong. It allowed me to get to where I am. However, I think if I was like a little bit like, I don't even know. I feel like I probably would have tried this process earlier on if I had better education in how the process works, right? Like I might have tried to buy a house when I was working at Ford making $50,000, $60,000 a year, because at that time the market actually probably would have allowed for me to buy a house making
Yeah.
$50,000 or $60,000 a year. But I didn't have the education at 23, 24 years old for somebody to tell me, hey, maybe you should go look into buying a piece of property now. This might not be a bad time to do so. And like, nobody in my life told me that. Nobody. Everyone's like, yeah, rent. Obviously, that's what you're gonna go
Right.
do right now. You're gonna go rent. And it's like, and you don't need a lot of money saved up at that point in time. You only needed about $10,000 saved up for a first home buyer loan and all that stuff. And like today, you probably 17.5 is for FHA, I guess, right?
3.5.
Or it's 3.5%, right? So, that, which is still obviously great, but like it was a different story. The whole point is I think just like from you guys being in the industry, it's being able to educate those first home buyers when the time is right,
you gotta lay out a plan, right? So like what I keep everything very like simple and like just direct, right? I'm like, hey, you need to get pre-approved. That's the first step. How do I get pre-approved? It's 2 things. Fill out an online application, give me your documents. Boom. Now I'm gonna go over with you exactly what you qualify for. Here's what your costs are, here's your estimated rate, and here's your payments. Are you comfortable? Does that all make sense? Do you feel that's within your parameters? Great, go shopping for a home. When you find something, before you sign a contract, before you even put an offer in, talk to me. Let's go over what you're putting an offer for. Let's make sure you can afford it, you're comfortable, and use me. Let me guide you and help you. You have these panel of experts that are going to also guide you, but I'm also a great resource. So like utilize this resource, right? I'm not asking for an hourly charge. You're getting this information for free.
Right.
Use it. You're getting valuable information from a super expert who can give you tons of great, feedback on exactly what you're buying, right? So talk to me about the house. Great, I'll talk to you about the house. Here are some of my pros and cons, just my opinion. You feel comfortable? You like the payments? Go.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what you did for me in a sense. I mean, like we had this conversation almost a year prior.
And you asked me, you sent me a house and you're like, what do you think? And I'm like, hey man, this looks great. Like I like this house. It's a great area, great neighborhood.
No, you definitely said that, but you also at the same time was like, you need to work on some things here, right? You need to pay off your debt that you have. You need to show the government that you make more money. You need to do all of these things. And it was like, okay, all right, there's a plan here. Now I need to just execute it. And our plan got completely fucked because I didn't pay my college loans for like 3 months and didn't even realize it. And like it was this whole freaking thing, you know.
That's okay. We pivoted.
We made it work, you know. And like there's always, I think that's also something too that like I didn't know prior to is like, there's professionals everywhere you turn that can help you in the situation that you're going through. I'm dealing with this. This isn't working out well. I don't know how to get the mortgage. Okay, well, let's talk to a credit professional and maybe they can help solve this problem. And within 45 days, problem solved, and you're like
There's always
sick.
a solution.
Yeah, always. Obviously, a lot of times it comes with spending money, but like when you're buying a house, you're spending money, right? So,
not necessarily you always have to spend money, right? Like
No.
I had a customer who's like, I have really bad credit, but my husband has amazing credit. I'm like, well, I have a way to help you.
don't put you on it. Right?
Well, I was telling them, pay down your credit card bills. Oh, I can't afford it. Well, okay. Maybe put your husband on and have him put you on as an authorized user.
Right.
And that'll help you boost your credit score a little bit, right? It's free and it doesn't cost any money.
Right.
And see if he can actually raise his credit limits.
Right.
Doesn't cost any money.
Couple little, and that's advice that you gave that allows them to move forward.
Yeah, I just learned that. I had no idea that you could help someone else's credit score by adding them as an authorized user.
We did it with Brianna.
No
That's
idea.
how it helped.
That's right.
Got me like 15 points overnight or something
That's
like that.
crazy.
That was through my advice.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough.
I have a lot of. Yeah. I mean, it was enough to get you a house. You got a house.
Yeah.
No, 100. No, it wasn't. It was. No, your advice was great. It just wasn't. We had to take it a step further. We were like, all right, we do need a specialist here, and that's fine. And to the point, like there's specialists for all these things. You shouldn't be selling your house by yourself, right? You should have a real estate agent. You know. Maybe it's not a good idea to just like walk into your local bank that you work with and ask for a loan for, a $500,000, $1 million house. Like maybe you should talk to specifically the guy that only does residential and commercial mortgages, right? Like
people think they bank at a certain place and they think they get these special benefits. Oh, cool! I bank at Wells Fargo, and therefore I'm able to get all these cool benefits.
It's a bundled deal.
No. No. Right. That's why you go to the person who does this every single day.
Right.
Yeah. But that's for anything,
And that's for anything, right? It's exactly right. Like you're not going to ask a plumber to do heart surgery, right?
No.
Like it just doesn't make sense. You want to go to the expert who's basically specialized in doing it, and they're really good at it.
Yep. And then the process is smoother, and that's what I experienced. It was a very smooth process. I have to say, it was
great.
Yeah.
You hear horror stories. I've gone through,
I've gone through it too.
I think my anxiety was expecting horror story. I could tell you that much. I was like, something bad's gonna happen, but also trying to just saying that like. The one thing that's nice about working with somebody like Amrish and I think the real estate process is somewhat like this in a sense too. Like once you have all your ducks in a row, it's like, what are you really nothing should be coming. It. Yeah, not like funding is good. The house is clean. The inspection is good.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, everything's good, right?
You're done 2 weeks early.
Right. I could have easily closed earlier if I
Wow.
wanted to.
We were done 2 weeks early.
That's great.
And that was a comforting thing to know that, like, okay, I have all of these, boxes checked off, basically. And it's like, all right, cool.
And in
like,
Florida, they
we're
have
okay.
like hard closing dates, right? So like whatever his hard closing date was, we were like, we're going expeditiously through the process.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, all right, well, why don't we just finish it, and then we'll be 2 weeks done, a little
I mean,
ahead of time,
everybody,
and-
you came to me and the real estate agent. They were like, if you want to close early. And I was like, if anything, I would kick this can down the road a little further.
Yeah.
And I was like, but
And how impressed were the realtors, by the way?
they
They were
was,
constantly complimenting, right?
yeah, yeah. Even I think the selling agent even
Even the
said
selling
something
agent was
too.
like, I want to do business with you. You're amazing.
Good.
Yeah, they were good. It was just that little annoyance at the end with trying to hold the keys hostage from me, like I was saying before. But like, all good little stuff. I remember I had the two people in front of me, I had the selling agent and the buying agent, both of them, and we were talking. We just signed the paperwork. We're standing out front of the house, whatever, and they're like, "All right, like you're gonna have to like wait a few hours to get the keys." And I was annoyed about it, and I was like, "Should I call Amrish right now?" And they were like, "No, it's okay." And I was like, "I feel like they don't want me to call him,"
Yeah.
They're worried I'm gonna get upset and mad.
Yeah.
which was just so
Bring
funny.
down the hammer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's that New York mentality I needed. It's like, come on, let's get this over the finish line, people. We're
I work
so
very hard
close.
because I like help customers on weekends, on holidays, like just
Yeah.
to make sure that they feel
Yeah.
comfortable. But I like helping people. Like I genuinely like helping it, right? Like just because I know that like I'm doing the right thing. I mean, now my business is about just doing the right thing and helping them and making them feel comfortable and being available for them because I feel like that's part of my services, A lot of times customers are like, "Oh, I'm going to go to my credit union." I'm like, "Good luck."
Yeah.
You're going to have a very hard time getting in touch with them and
Right.
that lack of communication is going to frustrate you.
Yeah.
And I've been through it.
Right. Your team, though, you have other loan officers working with you?
So I teach them all the same thing.
Have I met any of these people? I don't know if I ever have. If I've met any of your team
My
members.
brother's on it. No, you haven't met any of them.
No,
Yeah. Have you met my brother?
I don't think so.
yeah, he's on
You
it,
told me about your brother when we were talking, but
I mean, a lot of them, they do their own thing, but they come to me for guidance and help and whatever exceptions, But like, I let them do their thing, and if they need help, I'm happy to help them. I'll teach them whatever they teach them, and I go with them guidance, and I like support them in any way I can. But I let them do their thing, like,
yeah. No, I mean, you don't want to be like micromanaging in any
No, I don't
sense.
micromanage them. I let them do their thing, and they come to me with any advice that I need to help them out. Even with like social media. Hey, what are some strategies about social media?
Yeah.
What should I teach agents? How can I meet new agents? They come to me with all that stuff, and so I give them my expertise, and they use it, and it works.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the most beneficial thing that you've been able to do for agents,
So I think that providing value and giving them education is really big, right? So like I teach about like how to strategize an investment, like when it comes to investing in Airbnbs, because I own a bunch of Airbnbs, long-term and short-term rentals. I teach them about like I just did a class on AI and how to help that with real estate. I've done classes where I've taught them about mortgage hacks. What are ways to like strategize on doing certain things. For example, like you don't always necessarily have to put 20% down. Let's say you're buying a home and you're going to renovate it, put 15% down, renovate the house, they'll get the PMI off. That's a mortgage hack, right? So there's a lot of strategies that I teach a lot of agents that help them get them to the next level. What's the best way to place an offer? So for example, like we do what's called pre-commitment letters. We submit a loan into underwriting and give them a commitment letter so that way when they place an offer, it's an underwritten approval. So it's not some, maybe loan officer who maybe knows their guidelines or maybe it's an actual hard approval that an underwriter would do. Right. That has a huge value because now it's like vetted by a loan officer and an underwriter.
Right.
And then to take it to the next level, I call the listing agent. I'm like, hey, so let me tell you about my buyer and how amazing they are. So that way they feel comfortable when the offer is presented.
It's fire.
Yeah.
That's professional.
I mean, there was somebody else on the house that we bought that had an offer in, and it was offer accepted at that point, and they canceled it and accepted our offer.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure I had a lesser amount than they did.
Yeah.
But the big difference was we wanted to close sooner. That was like they wanted to
Yeah.
wait, 60 days, and I was like, I'll do it in 45.
There you go.
Yeah.
Any little tweak to give you that
that little
advantage.
edge.
I mean, I tell people speed is what impresses it. If you take long, you're not impressive. If you're fast, you're impressive.
I mean, same thing if you're buying a car, though, right? Like, I used to sell cars years ago. You walk into the dealership, I will leave here today with a car. They will make a deal with you. But if you're just like, I don't know, it's not going to be that same, urgency behind it.
Right.
But Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. We've been talking for about, I think, almost an hour, honestly, at this point, right? I don't know.
56 minutes.
Wow.
Oh wow.
56 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think this
A
has
lot
been.
of content.
Yeah, no, it's good.
That went by fast,
It
actually.
did.
It
It did.
did.
It did. We were
Oh,
chatting.
well, one question, because this is always like my number one anytime I'm talking to a mortgage person. What are the rates at?
We did
So-
get into it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or are we not supposed to?
no.
Was it-
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
No. That's the thing you should be asking.
I said it earlier, and I was like, "Oh, let's talk about the rates, what the market is, whatever."
Yeah,
So,
so
there we go.
right now, mortgage rates are probably teetering on an average of 30-year fixed about 6.5 on a conventional loan,
Okay.
right? And a lot of it has to do with what's going on with the world, with the
Yeah.
war, the new Fed chair. There's a lot of mix of what's happening, right?
Okay.
Just because rates are 6.5, that doesn't mean to be scared, because there's a lot of ways that you can pivot, right? Buying your rate down, 2-to-1 buy down, adjustable rate mortgages. So there's a lot of ways to hedge. And also I tell customers, like, you don't have to lock immediately, which I actually don't like prematurely locking. I'm like, wait it out, go through the process. Let's see what happens. I actually think the market's going to get better, but you're the decision maker. So I'm just your consultant.
Right.
Here's my advice. You do what you want to do, right? So look, I think rates are fine. I bought my first place in 2008. I paid 6.875. I didn't say, "Oh man, that rate's high." I said, "What's my payment?"
Right.
Cool, I can afford it.
Right.
Right. Ultimately, that's what it's about. Even if your rate's at 6.5, if you can afford the payment, it's better than living at home or renting.
Right. Well, because around COVID, what? People saw rates in the twos. So
That was an anomaly.
what everyone is stuck on right now. So, yeah.
They're still stuck on it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's why people, 6.5.
Are
Oh
people
my
stuck
God.
on 99-cent gas too?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Dang.
Yeah.
Right.
I-
Could
I
you
would-
imagine?
I miss 99-cent gas.
Exactly.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why I have electric cars now.
Yeah, my car takes premium, so that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, my
It's
Corvette takes premium. It's
$5
rough.
a gallon.
$6 a gallon. What do you mean $5? $6 a gallon.
God.
Oh,
And 93 is really expensive.
was it? It was like it was like $5.50 the other day when I got it. I was like, holy
Miserable.
crap. Yeah, like
So-
we're putting regular in.
But yeah, that's what people need to realize. 6.5, that's normal. It's not bad.
So let's just say that your rate's 6.5. What does it mean?
That's just what.
6.5%
Right,
of
right.
the
It's a
total.
number that
Right.
it's messing with you, right? I always tell people, if I told you your rate's 2% and 10 grand, is that okay? No, that's too much. Why? Who cares? The rate's 2%. What if I told you your rate's 6.5, but your payment's 5,000?
Yeah.
Oh, that's more comfortable. Great, you can afford that. Ultimately, you write your checks to your payment, not to your rate.
Right.
Obviously, everybody wants the lowest rate because it equates to a lower payment, right?
Of course.
But the market is the market. You can't control where rates are.
Yeah.
You have to accept it and you have to pivot. So go by what's affordable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's the only way to become a homeowner today. I actually just saw something recently, and maybe you guys have seen this and know what I'm talking about, but I think this was like 100 years ago, that people like above their house used to put like an eagle on the
Yes.
on the
Oh,
house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it represented that you paid off your house.
Yes.
Yes.
I just saw that. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I can't wait to get me an eagle.
Yeah.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah. I just thought that was like old
Yeah.
50s
Right.
decoration or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had
Yes.
no
It's
idea.
old school.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
old school.
Yeah, well, you buy a house, it's on there, you're like, shit, I got to pull this off.
Start over.
And I think the market is still pretty hot, right? Like I think there's a lot of activity. There's a lot of
yeah.
buyers. I've seen a huge influx in buyer representation and getting into contracts. It's like
Yeah.
very, very, very busy.
And you got
which is
lines out
great.
the door at properties that are selling.
Yeah.
So,
Open houses are busy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something about Long Island has its own economy. It's not affected by the rest of the country. And I noticed that 5 years ago when I first started working for myself. I was like, we're not affected by the way that the rest of the world goes. Like there's so much, e-commerce and business that happens right here that like, you don't need it. You
You
don't.
open to these new Tesla stations now in Whitestone and I think somewhere out in Long Island, and it's driving up a lot of jobs now.
Yep. There's a ton of that stuff. So I think this area will always be safe in the real estate market. It's just you're going to have to deal with the highs and the lows of it and put your head down. And like, when you were selling, crazy amounts like what, 2021, 22, 23, when like everybody was a mortgage officer and real estate agent. And then all of a sudden it's like 24, 25 happens. It's like, I'm not doing that anymore, But like the ones that stick around are the ones that are successful, years down the line, and then you meet that other guy and it's like, dude, you were a mortgage officer, now an insurance agent, and now you're working for like, the electric company or something like that. You're like,
I'm hearing people buying $1-2 million homes in cash. Where are these getting the cash from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, so
Making
there's
some moves.
definitely money in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are definitely. I mean, I know all the. I work with business owners. That's all I work with. Every business owner I work with is crushing it right now. Yes, things are more expensive, but everyone's making more money than they've ever made before, and they're growing their business at a rate that they've never done.
Agreed.
Everyone I'm working with. And I'm in an industry where if you're working with me, typically you're doing well because it's a luxury service in a sense, but. I get to see this all the time, which is great for what I can see. I'm like, sick. All right, more is happening. That means more business and more money in all of our pockets.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the bridge that they're building from Connecticut to Long Island and Port Jeff near Stony Brook? I heard that there was so there's a bridge. So instead of the ferry being, because it takes so much traffic, they're putting, like, last I heard, unless it's like stopped, it was like $20 billion on that bridge.
Oh,
so that means, like real estate, I just feel like it affects everything, and now you could just. People are just going to be, whenever that's done being built. But
wow.
They're going to have flying cars before that bridge is done. So let's be serious.
But it's that like quick connection. If you have like Connecticut business,
that'd be sick.
Boston.
Then it'd be affordable. You can live in Connecticut and easily.
Anything to avoid Bronx traffic. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
Anything to avoid Bronx traffic.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And Stony Brook's right there. I went to Stony Brook, so it's like that's so there's a lot of that kind of. There's a lot of commuters between Connecticut and.
Instead of sitting on the ferry for what, an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah, just zip over a bridge.
Which was
sure.
Pretty cool. If you're real estate,
that's great.
It's gonna affect a lot of things.
If they ever put a bridge between Connecticut and Long Island, woo, that's a home run.
Right. But that will be like 100 years from now, realistically.
Right.
I mean, they tried doing it with the Seaford Oyster Bay, and everyone in like, where you live, right? Upper Brookville and Dix Hills area, they're like, yeah, you're not.
Like LaGuardia Airport is the #1 airport in the United States right now.
It's beautiful.
Great, but it's, you know what I mean? Yeah,
it is.
I couldn't believe that. I thought I didn't,
People go to the U.S. Open, people go to the city through there. Yeah. Like, it's just an easy hub for people.
That bridge, I feel like there's a lot of development happening. That's going to affect a lot of the real estate. And,
Well, didn't they just put billions of dollars into redoing that airport too?
JFK too.
Yeah.
Well, JFK saw that and they're like, okay.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, we just joined the Queen's Chamber of Commerce. Are you in the Queen's Chamber?
No.
Have you ever been in it?
Yes.
Yeah. We just joined it. I don't think I'm going to renew. It's not one of those things that you could just go to any event whenever you want. So I was like, but I spoke to the guy who's like internal, and they have like LaGuardia on the board and JFK, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, you're like, that's crazy for a chamber. Like, you think like, Farmingdale Chamber, Melville, like these little tiny, and then you're just like, wait a second, you have the largest airport on the board of your chamber. Like, holy crap. Yeah, really cool. But
that's cool.
I'm glad we did this.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
I did.
Yeah.
It's not as nerve-wracking.
No.
You almost canceled.
I did. I was thinking of every excuse. I was like,
I told them to bring
something came up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah, it's
can't
easy.
Do this,
we make this easy. And this happens so many times where people will come and they're like, I'm so nervous. And I'm like, you're going to forget the cameras are there. We're just going to have fun. We're just talking.
Yeah.
They're going to chop it up and they're going to edit it. So it's fun.
Yeah.
But
this was very informative and felt comfortable. So yeah, this was good.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm glad that you both came.
Good.
Why don't you plug yourself? What's your Instagram handle if somebody wanted, or what's the best way to reach out to you if someone wants to buy a house?
Yes, Instagram. I think I am Victoria M _ Coldwell Banker.
Okay.
AH. Something like that.
You want to do it again? One more comment take.
I couldn't even.
I like it. What about email? What's the best way for someone to reach out to you? Phone number, email?
Oh, yeah. Phone number 631-682-2310.
There you go.
Text me, call me, whatever.
There we go.
Yeah, search for me on Instagram. I don't know.
We'll get your
Handle.
Your handle. Yeah. We'll add it into the video.
I couldn't even tell you.
That's okay. Yeah. You'll get it. Eventually, it'll be like.
We may need to update that handle.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to now. It's not
know.
Victoria M anymore, but it's all right.
Oh, there you go.
It's all right. We'll get the link so it just goes to the right place.
All right.
But Amrish, if somebody wants to find you and work with you,
I have a little bit of an easier handle. I'm Rish the Mortgage Banker. That's on Instagram, and then my cell phone's 516-860-6238, and my email, which is my first name .Diaz, Amrish.Diaz @cardinalfinancial.com.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Well,
awesome.
I appreciate you guys
Thanks,
coming.
brother.
Yeah, no, thank you
This was
both.
awesome.
This has been fun. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
do it again
Thank you, guys.
soon.